Hello everybody, I'm Serta and welcome back to Eden Crafters. Well, we're almost at the end of this. Couple of big things to do and then we get into the repetitive stuff. Let's have a look at what we're going to do today. So I'd like to automate a couple of gold things that haven't been done yet, so I'm going to do that. Maybe have a look at the reinforced frames, but we do need to build an atmospheric control tower. That atmospheric control tower needs 5,000 megawatts of power. We don't get that easily. For that we're going to need a nuclear plant. So we're going to have to unlock that. There's a bit to do, let's get stuck in. Alright, inside. First things first, let's go to the analyzer. And yes, we want to do uranium ore. And I have some in stock, so good. Analysis completed. We can build a spaceship and a nuclear plant. Perfect, let's see what we need for the nuclear plant. A lot of things that we don't have yet. So the plasma conductor, nuclear reactors I can hand make. Radiation isolant, I am probably not going to automate that. But the plasma conductor, that is made with sapphire in the gem cutter, so we're going to need to sort that out. And while we're there, we found a place in the last episode, if we go to the map, on the volcano that has sapphire and diamond and amethyst right next to each other. So that looks like a good place to do some gem stuff. In the meantime, we could get by with a few geothermal plants, and I'm thinking maybe I'll stick a couple in, maybe over on this side. If we can get an excess of 5,000 megawatts over on this side, then we can already put that atmospheric control tower down. So let's go over here. They're not very big. I'll put these next to the rocket launcher. Let's have a look. Okay, so geothermal plants, yep, we can shove one in there and another one in there. And I have enough for another one even, so we can shove that over here. And once those are built, we'll see how much we have. And then maybe we can get that atmospheric control tower in here. It's a big structure. But yeah, we could maybe do it over here. Get rid of a couple of these basalt deposits. Okay, good. Those are all finished. Let's go and have a look at what we've got in this grid. 7,500 and we are using 1,800. Ah, good. We've got enough. So let's see how big this thing is. Atmospheric control tower. Okay, it's not that big. We could probably squeeze it in over here somewhere. Right over there. Not enough laser emitters. Oh, right. I never actually automated those. And we need 30 of them. They're pretty easy. So let's look at the map and see if we can find ruby close to some. There's ruby that's in that cave. And we have a warehouse over here with only one thing going into it. So let's head over that way. Now, before I do that, because that's over there, right there, that warehouse in the distance, there's a few things that I don't really need on me anymore, because I think the temperatures are good. So we can take off the cooling modules, and the radiation shield I think I'll keep, but I would like to get another high-capacity battery. Don't really need the oxygen tanks too much, but I'll get another one of those anyway, and then I can drop a few things off. Alright, so let's have a look at the batteries. We need battery cells, we need uranium ore, and I just dropped my uranium ore. Okay, we have the uranium ore back, the battery cells, we have everything we need for those. So I think I'll do 10, because eventually we won't need oxygen anymore. So we could have 2 of those large battery things there, yeah. Okay, now those are done. So yeah, the high capacity batteries. I will do, yep, 2 of them. That's going to give us enough stamina to basically fly a jetpack right across the map. I'm going to hold on to the radiation shield because there are some areas that still don't have full radiation coverage, but that's fine. We'll hop out and we'll go and sort out those laser emitters. Oh, hang on one moment. I need to make sure that I've got enough for a T3 miner, and I definitely don't. I need 4 AI chips and 10 reinforced frames. So 4 AI chips, right, those are done, and then 10 reinforced frames, get those sorted. Awesome, those are done. So I should be able to do, yeah, I can. Okay, so I was going to automate the reinforced frames. The AI chips, not really. I do need to stash some rubies away anyway, so we'll have to look at that. And then I'm going to need another diamond drill. And I don't have much diamond, but I could use the tier 2 drill to set that up. Anyway, let's hop in the ship and get out of here. Right, we are here. Oh, and it does look like we need that heat protection. Huh, I thought the heat was sorted. Okay, well anyway, somewhere down here is a ruby mine, or a ruby node. think it's in this room. Yep, there it is. So we'll get a T3 miner on that. We'll set it to go out in this direction. And it's definitely on the ruby. And what is it producing? 60 per minute. So I can use a regular old belt and we'll bring that out. And I think I'll spin it and bring it up to... That's not going to chop anything up, is it? No. We'll bring it to there. Okay, that's good. Now, I didn't check if I had enough to make the alloy forge. Not the alloy forge, the gem cutter. I need one more fast rotor. And I have what I need in here to make a fast rotor. Yep. Now that is done. So we'll pull the drone out. Gem cutter. And we're going to bring the gem cutter out quite far. Actually, I need to just make sure. Because I want to split that line. So we'll go there. And then I'll get a splitter. We use that conveyor splitter. And now everything's going to be a little off. That's okay. Drop that in there. That one from there to there, and this one can, oh boy, I messed that up. That can go 90 degrees out that way, 90 degrees back, and that can feed into any of the ports. This one can feed straight into that last port, and then we need to set this recipe. Well, eventually the ruby will arrive. We'll set this recipe to laser emitters, and when the ruby arrives, we'll start getting that, and we'll also get ruby in stock. We need it for something. I can't remember exactly what. And here it comes. So, a lot of ruby coming up. I see a bit of a problem here. The ruby appears to be going in, but it's not coming out. Is there a problem with the input or the output? I don't know. Let's break a bit down. We'll reconnect from a distance this time. I don't know where that other ruby actually went to. Yeah, there we go. Now it's working. So, once this port backs up with all the raw ruby, this will go a little bit faster, and we'll be getting about 12 per minute from this. Well, actually, this is perfectly balanced because this only makes 6 per minute. Oh, that's fine. Yeah, so we've got a line that can give us 12. This is only taking half of that, which is great. There's our first laser emitter, and it's producing one every 10 seconds. Cool, done. Okay, back to base, and we're home. Good. So now we just have to wait for the 30 laser emitters to get produced. In the meantime, let me see what else I can do. First of all, I know I'm going to have problems with heat, so I need to pick up one of these cooling modules, remove one of the high-capacity batteries. I'll keep it on me, just put that cooling module just in case. I don't think we have everything that we need to do what we're going to do where we are going now. So we're going to the volcano. We're going to get those items sorted out with the diamond and the sapphire. I think there are 2 items that we build with diamond. I wonder if this mist just never goes away. Okay, where was that spot? Oh man, there's something I forgot to do. Oh heck, I can do it here, I think. So there's the amethyst, and the diamond is right over here. Right there, there's the diamond node. And then up around this way, just around this corner, and there is the sapphire. So I'm going to have to flatten an area and change the way this volcano looks completely. And I think I'll do it on this level. So, steamroller. But first I wanted to do a little living unit. So, compartment over here. And we'll put an assembly bench in here. And I might need a workbench as well. And that needs some iron ore. And I had to go quite far to get a second iron node. Wow. Or rather, a second piece of iron. Oh, we have iron right here. That was pretty straightforward. And that's in. So in here, I want to do a couple of nuclear energy cells. Actually, I think I'm just going to do 4. I'll do 1 for the car and then 3 for the plane. And then we never have to worry about charging batteries again. All right, we have them now. So if we go in here and we drop one of these nuclear energy cells in, look at that. Got over an hour. And I'll hop over to my ship and replace. I'll just leave these in the ship. So we'd basically get 3 minutes and 20 seconds from these batteries compared to, which is like a total of 10 minutes flight time. Well, now we have 200 minutes. So, over 3 hours. Let's do some landscaping, shall we? Yeah, we'll bring that diamond one up to this level. We don't need a lot of space for these facilities. They're pretty small. Obviously still need to put a warehouse in here. And I'm just cutting through to where the sapphire node is. And I think that should be enough space. Just top up on some oxygen and grab a bit of food. And then I can work from in here, I think. Should be fine. So I'm going to do the diamond first because I need the diamond drills to make the better miners. So let's grab one of the tier 2 miners and I'll bring it that way and then double it back. I don't know if I've got enough. I need some saw blades. Not a problem. Right, gem cutter. And gem cutter can go in right over there. And what I'll do, actually, I'm going to put another gem cutter down on the other side of it, right there. And then I'm going to split this output. So we'll grab one of these conveyor splitters, put that over there, bolt that into there, and that into each of these. Now, one of them, this one here, will do the diamond drills, and this one here will do the crystal lenses. The miner is only producing at 1 per minute. Wow, that is hectically slow. Oh, wait, hold on. Why is this not producing? Yeah, it's super slow, but we don't need a lot of them. So I'm going to wait until I have one, then I'm going to upgrade this. I think there might be something wrong. Oh, I know what the problem is. There's no power. Alright, I need to pick up some plated connectors, and then I can do it. It's one of the things that I haven't automated. And now I have everything to make the power, so I'll put the power over here, sort of up on the hill. Just like that. Perfect. So once that's built, then this production will ramp up. And then I can put a little warehouse in as well. That I will squeeze in over here. Let's just check the map, make sure I'm not destroying anything. No, that little area has nothing in it. So we'll just pop that over there. Right, power's working. What are we doing now? There we go, 18 per minute. Much better. So I have 2 diamond drills now, so I'm going to need some reinforced frames and some AI chips. So let's queue some of those up. And everything is done. So now I can get out of here. And let's see if we can upgrade this advanced miner. Advanced miner 3. Nope, we can't upgrade. So we just remove the old one. Out with the old, get rid of that belt. Advanced miner tier 3. And we'll put it hopefully in line. Right there. Belt that out. And what are we getting now? 36 per minute. Perfect. Now I'm going to need another tier 3 miner on this amethyst deposit. And we're going to need another gem cutter. And we can send that through right next to this one, I think. So right there. Belt that to there and set this recipe to energy crystals. And that should start working. Now I can put these into a warehouse. It's going to mess with my ship a bit. That should be okay. Bring all of these in. Good. Everything is coming out. How are we doing over here? We're starting? We are. So for 1 energy crystal, we need 30 amethyst ore. Amethyst is being produced at 60 per minute. So we're basically producing 2 energy crystals per minute. I need 1 more of these diamond drills. Let's see if... Can I grab these off the belt? I actually can't. Alright, I'm going to have to wait for them to enter the warehouse. Right, so what I'll do here is get the gem cutter in. And I'll just put it over here. Yeah, right there. And then go and put a miner down on this one. So, T3 miner onto the sapphire deposit. Grab this belt and bring that over. That goes in there. And then this goes into there. And then we can set the recipe to plasma conductor. And once that has arrived, we'll have plasma conductors. This is mining at 30 per minute. This will produce 15 per minute. Right, and now while we've been doing that, our laser emitters have been piling up, so we have lots of them. 167, we only needed 30. So let's head back. I think we're done with everything over here. I just want to make sure that these plasma conductors actually go in. Oh, and the sun just came out suddenly. Looks much better. Right, there they go. And they look like they're going in. Yep, there we go. Everything is working. Lovely, let's get out of here. And I'm going to take the vehicle with. Let's break that down. I got the energy cell back without taking it out. So, good. And we'll head back to the main base then. We've arrived. We have everything that we need for the atmospheric control tower. So, let's go and put it in. And I was going to put it over here. I think I'm still going to put it over here. Unless, let me see if there's any place that might be better. Yeah, maybe somewhere back here. There's this big open area. Okay, yeah, let me go over there. And I really should be greening up this planet a little bit more. Yeah, I think this spot over here looks pretty good. So let's see how we're going to do this. Right, atmospheric control tower. We are going to put it... Yeah, let's do it over here. Excellent. And it can build. And we will be on our way to the next stage. Just after I've managed to grab myself some food. And maybe I'll make a little bit more food. And it looks to me like the atmospheric control tower is finished. So let's just head over to the planet's analyzer. And we are at 3 out of 50%. So that is starting now. And it'll slowly build up. Next thing I want to do, there are 3 items that I'm not automating that involve gold. Insulation layer, gold wiring, and plated connectors. So we need gold, we need copper. And if we're lucky, we can find a place. And I think I know where there is a place. There's gold, there's copper. We have 2 iron deposits. That's great. And just across the way, we have graphene. So we could make the reinforced frames as well. Might not be a bad idea. So let me mark the spot. And then we can head out in that direction. And I think I'm only going to need the 1 gold node because I'm going to use a T3 mine on it. Going to produce like crazy. Yeah, this valley is looking very, very nice. So let's hop in the plane and we'll shoot over to that marker. And this is the spot. And it looks like we've got a fairly nice flat piece of land over here. Right, where's that copper? Copper's up over the hill that way. That'll be pretty straightforward to bring through. Oh wait, we got graphite right here. That's weird that it didn't show up. Oh, that's excellent. There's our iron. And there's another iron node somewhere. There's our gold. Oh, this is going to be an easy one. Yeah, I think I'm going to bring everything up to this level. So we've got our steamroller down. We have our battery in the steamroller. And we can just... This shouldn't take very long at all. I mean, it's a very small amount, a very small area that we need to level. Okay, I did actually do a bigger area because I realized that I need to get rubber done. And that'll be for the gold wiring. So I'm extending it just a little bit extra. Is that more graphene? Looks like it. Okay, I'm done with this. Let's get ourselves... Okay, so let's set ourselves up a little house. We'll probably need an assembly bench. So that's in. Probably don't need a workbench, but I'm going to put one in anyway. Right, so here we have the gold. Before we do anything with that... Let's have a look at the map. We're not seeing the rocks here because maybe my scan that I did before didn't reach. There's the 2, 5, 6 graphene in range. Nice. So I think maybe up over here, we'll put in the power plant. Let's see. Iron, copper is somewhere over that way. Looks like this is where all the nodes are. That's a cobalt node that I'm not going to use. And the warehouse will most likely be there. So yes, I can put the power plant over here. Geothermal plant. Yep, right in there. And now while that's getting built, let's get a T3 miner on this gold and see how much it produces. So we're going to push that out in that direction. And this produces 150 per minute. That's pretty good. The forges, just as a tester, we'll stick a forge in there and connect it up. And that should... Oh, wait. This needs to get... Oh, this is built. Hold on. Right, that's going in. This is doing 18 per minute. Oh, wait, why is there only 61% power? Wait a minute. That can't be right. There's plenty of power for it. Why is it showing that there's a lack of power? What am I missing? This one's also showing a lack of power. Yep, we definitely have power in range, but these are not using that one's power. Do I have to rebuild them? Let's try. Okay, that's in. No? It's so strange. Maybe if I put one of these in, it'll do something. Well, now it's 100% of the power, and now we're getting 240 per minute. Ah, that's better. And if we plug that into there, that's getting power. And this is now doing 30 per minute, but it takes 2 ingots to make an ore, so 60. That means I should have 4 of these. All right, good. Let's take it out, remove that belt, and go and remove some stuff from my inventory. Otherwise, I'm going to fill myself up. All right, that is done. And just to be sure, gold ingots, yeah, take 2 ores. So definitely 1 splitter, and then that splitter goes into another 2 splitters. So we're going to put that like that. And then we're going to need a really fast belt. Conveyor belt 3, 240 per minute. Perfect. That is being split 2 ways. So we can use that same belt to transport those. And then we need 4 forges. And I'll put the ones in the middle in first. So one there and one, ooh, come on, over there. And then these ones there and there. And then I hope the belts don't look too funky. These can be regular 60 per minute belts, just like that. Now we've got a whole heap of gold ingots. And I need to get oxygen because I was being silly and not building from inside my little living unit. So now we need to merge these and then split them 3 ways. So that's what I will do. And we'll get all of the merging in. Those are done. And one more merger that can go over there. Now that's 30 per minute coming out of each of those. So just a regular belt can take those into there. And then I need to split that 3 ways. So we've got the 3-way splitter. Drop that in over there. And we will need a faster belt because that's 120 per minute. So we can use conveyor belt 2, bring that into the splitter, and then we can split them as we need them. So I need to get some rubber set up. I'm going to do a normal rubber build. So we'll need domes, and I think I'll just do 4 if I can find them. There they are. And I need to get out of my container because I'm getting a little far away now. Yeah, maybe I'll do 5. And I'm going to arrange them slightly differently so they can go like that. Now each of these need 50 water. And we have 2 options. We have the water pump V2 that does 600 liters. And we have this water extractor V2 that does 500. I think I'm going to use this one. And we'll just pop it over on this side. And then we'll get hubs in behind these. So like that and there. And I've kind of messed this one up just a little bit. I'll put that one over there. That pipe's going to be janky, but it'll work. One over here and the last one over there. I'm not being very accurate with this lot. But I can now bring that pipe into there. Ooh, not good. I'm going to bring it in. It's going to be janky. But that's okay. And I missed it. I'm standing right there. Try it again. Yep, that works. That can go in there. This one can carry on straight. Then into that. That one can go around the corner. All right, in. Oh, come on. Into there. I think I might be too far away. So I'll get closer. That into there. This one can come around the corner to there. That goes into there. This one, honestly, I could have put it straight in, but that's okay. It works. So now I need to collect up all of these. And the way I'm going to do that is with mergers. And I think I'll just use these mergers. I want this to continue in that direction. So I'll put this first one right over there. Now the belts going to the mergers can be regular speed because that's producing 60 per minute. That can go in, that can go in, that can go in. And then we're going to need another one. And before I do that, I should go and get some oxygen. And wow, it's got dark. How are we doing on our task anyway? We're at 20% out of the 50 that we need to get an Earth-like composition to our atmosphere. All right, back out. So we're going to need another merger. And maybe I'll just merge all of it now. I'll just have like one merger for each. Yeah, why not? We'll do that and that. And I'm going to need, because this is 360 per minute, I'll need a really fast belt. And I don't have the one that does 360 per minute. The first 4 will go into one parts producer, and then the last one can go into its own. So I actually don't need this merger. Let's get rid of that. But this is 6 4s, that's 240. So that can go in there. And then we're going to need a parts producer to deal with what comes out of this. And then a parts producer to sort this one out. And then we can have a merger that comes out that way. Yep, that's fine. That's still good. So that goes in. That I may as well just... Oh, this must go in over here. We'll just connect everything in as quickly as possible. And then this needs to make rubber. And this one will make rubber. And then we need to bring a manufacturer. Sorry, an assembler. Constantly calling it manufacturer. We'll do this over here. Grab a regular belt and plug that in there. And then we're going to bring this output kind of out of the way and around the corner to there. Plug that into there. And finally make gold wiring. And then that will go into a warehouse. basic warehouse right over there. So let's bring that belt out. And that goes in. Do I want to tighten it up a bit? Maybe. Let's do this rather. And then we're in. Cool. So that's recipe is set. The ingots are coming through now. Excellent. Now the next one. Next one's going to be a very easy one. Basically, you just need one parts producer. So before I go to get oxygen, I'm going to do that one. Stick that in. Grab the belt. Put that over there. Go, right, I want you to do insulation layer. And then we're going to plug that in. And we'll keep this one relatively tight as well. And plug it in. There we go. So that's a couple more items done. And then we need to get the copper over. But now before I bring the copper over, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to set up for the reinforced frames because we have graphene right over there. Okay, let me go and get oxygen first. I feel like I should have got the oxygen bottles instead of the batteries. Nah, it's fine. Okay, for this I need quite a lot of iron production. And I'm going to bring the iron backwards and do that production in this area. I think I could probably get away with a T2 miner because I don't think I have a belt to deal with anything faster than that. Yeah, this is already doing 360 per minute. So I can only deal with 240, which is basically that same setup. So we do the splitting. Split there and bring this out, split to there and... Oh, did I mess the spacing up a little? I think I might have. Yeah, it's okay. We need forges, so we'll line them up. I've given myself a bit of extra space between them on this setup. And then we need the belts, the fast ones. There, into those, split those into the forges. That's going to give us a load of iron ore. Then I'm going to merge, but I'm not going to double merge. If you know what I mean, I am going to merge those into there, and they will each go into their own parts processor. So just like that, each of these will have 60 coming out. It doesn't matter, I'll just use the fast belt. And then each goes into their own parts producer, like that. And if you middle mouse click, you can select an item to build. Okay, I really didn't straighten that one up very much. Not stressed. So now we can bring this around, and this is going to be pointing in that direction for the assembler. And I can put that right there. Bring this around the corner, 90 degrees, and drop that in there. This one, we'll just grab that, drop that in there. And these are going to be our iron beams. Once I've set these to be plates and rods. So that's all sorted out. And just for fun, I'm going to upgrade these belts. Then we need to bring the graphene in. So we'll get the Advanced Miner Mark II. We'll put it in facing in this direction. And we will need a carbon refinery. That uses 200 liters of water. So we'll grab that. We're going to bring that one in over there. If I have enough, I should be able to do, yes, I can do another big water extractor. Pop that in the middle and line it up with that port right there. Grab a pipe, drop it in there. What am I producing over here? 180 per minute. Perfect. So we'll grab the conveyor Mark III, drop that in there, and then we just need one more assembler. And if I put this one kind of lined up with this over there, and then I think at this point I can do a normal belt over here from there. Oh, didn't line that up. That's going to get changed. Okay, I think that's lined up now. That can go in there. Is this doing beams? It's doing beams. But I'm overproducing on plates and underproducing on rods. Yeah, well, that's fine. They're coming out fast enough. Then I need this belt. Okay, this needs to produce carbon fiber. That's going to do 60 per minute. And that means I can grab one of these belts, bring that around the corner and plug it into there. Set this recipe to be reinforced frames. And then we can feed the reinforced frames in. Oh, my oxygen is critical. Oh, I'm not going to make it. Oh, I died right at the door. All right, well, there we go. Sorted again. Not too punishing, but I do need to have some food now. Right, let's finish this up. Grab our belts, bring it around here. We're going to keep things a little bit tight still, because I'd like to use this area. So bring that through to there, and one around the back of this mine, and this one through to here, right into there, and plug it in. Perfect. Yeah, it's looking pretty decent. Now I need to go and fetch that copper. And if I look at the map, it is... Wait, have I got the right direction? It's that way. Oh, heck. I might have put the geothermal plant in the wrong place. Oh, well. Let's see. Where is it? It can't be too far away. Check the map. It is just up here somewhere. Oh, there it is. Okay, so it's not too far. So we'll put a tier 2 miner on it. And I'm just going to bring all the ore down into the valley. We can do the processing down there. And I haven't really planned where it's going to be. But we'll get the fast belt. And hold on. Before we go, 270 per minute. That's fine. This is going to bring 240 down. And I might need to do a little bit of belt hopping. What is the straight line on this? Where's the straight? Oh, over there. Well, that might actually work. Let's bring it back to there. Yep, not too bad. And then I'll come over to... Let me see if I can get my line right. Yep, it is straight through here. So let's get those asphalt blocks in. And I'll do a little row of them. Okay, that should be fine. The level, it's going to probably dip a little bit. So let's hop over here, grab this line and bring it through. And let's line that up just like that. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Yes. Right now this is going to have to come to ground. And we'll bring it to ground over there. And then I'm going to turn it and I'm going to work in this direction for the forges. Actually, I don't really need to. Well, I sort of do because I don't have enough space on the side. And I think I'm going to build myself a little house over here so I don't die again. Yeah, let's do that. So, I think I might have put that in the... No, I haven't. I should be fine. And I think this one... yeah, actually, I think I'm going to do this as just a 2-way. I don't really need that much copper for this build. So maybe I can go straight on. Yeah, I can. Let's do that. And we'll connect that in. And then the 2 forges. Give a bit of space. Pop them in. Plug the belts in. And then merge. And I'm just using the fast belts. And I think I missed that. Did I? Yes, I did. Right, that is in. Now I need to bring gold ingots out and over this line. So I'm going to bring them up to here. That looks pretty good. And we'll grab the regular belt and bring that through. And I will... Oh, how close am I? I could do that and then hopefully bring it up. I think I need to get a little lower so I can see what's going on. Yeah, like that. Bridge it and then bring it down just as quickly. So like that. Yep, that looks good. And then we need an assembler over here. And yep, I'll give it a little bit of space like that. Going to need to bring the belt of this one around. So bring that through. We'll give this a bend. And then that should neatly plug in. This one should plug in. Set this recipe to be plated connectors. And we'll get all the belts nicely lined up. I need to get out of my box if I'm going to do that. So we'll go there and then we'll go in there. Oh, that looks pretty neat. And then there's only really one thing that I want to do. One more thing I want to do in this place. And that's a very quick fertilization setup. So we'll put this over here. We only need 150 water. So I'm going to put the hubs in and use the small water extractors. They're all in. Grab the area fertilizer. We'll tuck that in over there. Did I get... Nope. That port is elevated, so it does make it a little bit strange if you're looking at it from the side. But it also looks like that port isn't perfectly aligned. Anyway, that's fine. Throw this belt in, and then all the pipes. So those in. Plug that into the greenhouse. Plug that into the area fertilizer. And we should start getting some fertility in this area very shortly. We are getting power. These things are moving through very quickly. Yep, that's fantastic. Ah, yeah. You love to see it. Look at that. Everything that we need whipping through to the warehouse. And it's actually all going into the warehouse. Look at that. We are backed up on gold wiring. I spent so much time handcrafting that I should have done this a long time ago. And I'm probably going to say that again about something else. We completed Terraformation 9. We get the Habitat T1, the Habitat T2. And we're still waiting for this place to get some more trees. So it's nighttime here. We've got one tree. We're at 79%. Organic input is fine. Power and water are good. No, just hang around here until the morning. Oh, we're still waiting. For some reason, this is not going over 79%. Very weird. Just for the heck of it, I'm going to grab one of these smaller ones. Yeah, I'm going to grab the small fertilizer, and I'm going to plug that in since we aren't really using this water at the moment. We've got extreme temperatures here. That's a thing. Interesting. So I think I will try and fix that by putting some of these in. Yeah, these geothermal units. There we go. The ground fertility is now going up again. Well, I waited overnight. We did get the ground to 100% fertile. It did help to put this in, I think, but I think the bigger problem was that it was still very hot here. So, yeah, we cooled the place down a bit. If we have a look at the planet analyzer, we can still see that there are hot areas. Even though a lot of the places that we've been working, we've managed to cool down. And I'm kind of hoping that this is cooled down a little bit. But this does look like a pretty good factory. I've spent far more time around here than I needed to, so let's get out of here. I'm going to go back to the volcano. That place is apparently still hot. So I want to get that cooled down, and I want to plant some trees there as well. While we're flying over there, let's have a look at the planet analyzer. Yeah, so here we need to build some habitats. Yeah, I'll figure out where I'm going to put them, but I'm not going to make a fancy city like I did before. Okay, we are here at our little base, and I reckon just to cool this down a little bit, I'm going to throw a few bits and pieces in. So let's get these geothermal units going. That should be enough to get the cooling started. And then I don't need a lot of space for what I want to do. I can take this one out. In fact, I'm going to remove this analyzer. I think that stays on the map once we've unlocked it. Yeah, it does. Okay, so we don't need that radar thing anymore. Let's get our greenhouse down and the hubs. The water extractors in, then the area fertilizer. Just make sure that we're lining it up okay. And then it's just all the pipes. And that's the last pipe, conveyor belt. And we'll stick around and see what happens with this one. And with any luck, we can turn this place into something with a little bit more greenery. Yeah, there we go. We got trees on the volcano. Flippin' brilliant. And we're at 100% fertility. Perfect. Well, that is pretty much it. Can head back now. Now, it does surprise me that there's still hotspots on the planet because we've pretty much done everything that we were supposed to with those other towers, the cryostorm towers. So I thought that would have cooled things. And then, of course, the rocket, we don't have any more lava. So there's not really a reason to still be hot unless it just takes a heck of a long time for that heat to go away. Anyway. It's one of those things, I suppose. We have to deal with it. So we can hop back into the home container and go and have a look at the planet analyzer. Yeah, fertilized regions, we're at 18%. We need a lot more than that. Temperature regulation, that is still happening. It's only at 65. I wonder if that means that we need more of those cryo towers. But yeah, the next unlock once we build these habitats, which I'm not going to do, would be the teleportation pod. And the Earthlink communications tower, that's basically just to send the message to Earth to say that the planet is ready. And we've done that a few times before on other planets, so it's pretty much the same as before. Anyway, we're looking good here. I could green up a little bit more, but I don't think I'm going to go any further than this. I can, of course, unplug this one now because we are at 100% and make sure that we have our organic flowing into this warehouse. So this was pretty straightforward. We've got all the main components in. We could easily do the T1 habitats. The T2 habitats mean that we need to automate advanced panels, which I'm not very keen on doing. Done that before. They're pretty expensive. Gold alloy, amethyst alloy, and ceramic. Amethyst alloy uses copper. Gold alloy uses phosphorus. So we need a place with gold, amethyst, phosphorus, and quartz all in the same place. Shouldn't be difficult to do, but yeah, I think I'm kind of done with this playthrough. I know exactly what is coming next. It's really just a cleanup of the planet, and everything that I've shown you so far should be able to show you how to do that. And I suppose if you're looking for a place to make those advanced panels, we could look at the map, and I would say most likely the volcano would be good. And we've got amethyst, we've got gold, we've got, there's copper, there's phosphorus right there. Amethyst and phosphorus right there. There's a bit of quartz in there. Yeah, so this island you could set up those advanced panels pretty easily. without having to bring anything in from a distance. I haven't even done trains in this playthrough. Hasn't really been necessary, but I did waste a lot of time handcrafting a lot of stuff just to get it done. But I think it's where I'm going to leave this one. If you like this video, give us a like. If you want to see more, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications. Leave me your comments. Let me know your thoughts on this planet and the game in general as it marches its way towards its final release. Don't know when that's going to be. There may be another planet. Haven't had any news on that yet. But it was a different challenge to start off with. Then, then we just ended up going back into the same routine. One thing I didn't look at, there was this cave. And I suppose I could have used my drone early on to go and check out what was going on. In fact, it's got stepping stones. Oh, look at that. We were looking for sulfur early on. Well, there's lots of sulfur in here. So that's not a bad place to find some sulfur. And the lava doesn't hurt that much if you manage to stay on the rocks. It is pretty weird, though, that it's like there's this red stuff underneath and you go down and it's not red. Anyway, I thank you very much for joining me, and until next time. Cheers!